Danny Thomas. And Jean Hagen as his wife. And Sherry Jackson and Rusty Hamer as their children. Make room for Daddy.
It's perfectly marvelous of you all going to do this.
If it wasn't for you, I'd have to sleep 4 nights under the London Bridge.
I can't understand how my hotel reservation got mixed up.
Not so loud. Sleeping.
Look, are you sure it will be all right with your wife? I mean, barging in like this?
Margaret is wonderful on things like that. Besides, anything I say is... So what could she do, kill me?
Well, I don't expect she'll mind. I'm only staying 1 night.
Look, after all, how often do we get a famous British composer and pianist and orchestra leader in our house? She'd be happy to have you. You just play the piano for her. You can stay here forever.
I'm terribly sorry, old boy. I haven't touched a piano in years. I do a bit of a magic act now.
Oh, I bet you do.
No, really. I gave up the orchestra quite some time ago.
What?
Look, where do I sleep?
You sleep on the couch. I'll get you a sheet and some blankets. What are you talking about? What kind of an agent have we got? You just never told me you gave up the piano.
Oh, yes, years ago. Look, are you positive your wife won't object to my being here?
No, she won't object at all. I had 3 acrobats stay here for a whole week.
Actually?
Yeah. One of them slept here on the couch. The other 2 slept in the bathtub.
Sounds a bit cramped.
That wasn't bad. One of them slept on top of the water. I'll get you a blanket. Here you are. Margaret had 2 of them.
Oh, look here, won't she be chilly?
I don't think so. Now to get you something nice and soft for a pillow.
Oh, look here, but isn't that going a bit far?
What's the matter? Don't you like it?
Yes, but I mean, who sleeps on mink?
Minks. Go ahead.
I do hope your wife isn't going to be put out.
Look, Monty, this is America, the good old USA. In our country, the husband is the king of the household. Good night.
Good night.
Gee, Daddy and Mommy must have had a fight. And Mommy won again. This isn't Daddy. I hope it's a burglar.
Oh. Well, who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Montague Brooks.
I'm Rusty. I'm Terry.
Terry. Oh, that's nice. How old are you, dear?
11.
11, yeah. Yes, of course. I'm a friend of your father's. You know, it's funny he never mentioned you to me.
Sometimes we don't mention him to our friends either. Did you sleep all right?
Did I sleep all right? Well, I should say I did. Much better, in fact, than my last night on the Queen Mary. Oh, by the way, have you ever slept on an ocean liner?
No. Is it fun?
Fun? Let me tell you. It was our last night out. We ran into a great, big, enormous farm. And all the little tugboats began to go wink, 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 wink. And all the great, big ocean liners began to growl, oh, oh. And all the lonesome foghorns went, oh, no, oh, no. And all the crazy seagulls went, all night long we had whack, whack, woo, woo, woo. I didn't get a single wink of sleep all night.
I'm glad Daddy brought you home. Are you an acrobat?
An acrobat? Well, not yet. At the moment, you might say I'm a prestidigitator.
You might say. He means he's a magician.
That's right.
Then after you do a trick.
All right. Now, watch this very closely indeed. Observe and be amazed. First you see it, and now you don't. Where does it come from? There's the next one. Now, where will the next one come from? I see it.
It's on the back of your finger.
Well, I didn't ask you to look that closely. There's one thing I can't stand. It's a sneaky audience.
You're not very good, are you?
I didn't expect to meet a critic in my pajamas, old bean. Oh, look here. Here's something I can do for an encore.
Well, we didn't even applaud.
In a short but unsuccessful career, I have learned to overlook that. All right. Here we go. Presto changeo. Now, watch closely. I shall perform a feat that will bring thrills and chills to everyone's spine. For those of you whose nerves are weak, the Mayo brothers are waiting in the mezzanine. Now, with a simple flip of my head, I throw it over and catch it in back. I guess I haven't got that one quite down yet.
Mother, this is Mr. Montague Brooks. The prestidigitator.
Danny invited me to spend the night. So I'll clean all this up right away. You won't even know I've been here. It's...
The stuffing came out.
They don't make pillows like they used to. Danny? Danny, wake up.
What?
Who's the fur trapper in the living room?
What first? Oh, you mean Monty? He's a nice guy. He's a friend of mine. I met him during the war. He's a musician from England.
Oh, so that's the Marshall Plan. We send them money and they send us musicians.
Oh, no, not. He's a nice fella. His reservation got fouled up at the Astor, that's all. He'll be out of here tonight.
That's what you said about those 3 acrobats. They stayed a week.
Honey, don't blame that. I mean, there is no known way of throwing out an acrobat.
Very funny. Look, honey, only last week you promised me no more entertainers, no more sword
Please, not
swallowers.
the first thing in the morning. Be a nice kid. Get me a cup of coffee. Honest, everything is going to be all right. This is a nice guy. He's got a reservation at the Astor Hotel. He'll be out of here tonight.
Hotel Astor. May I have the room clerk, please? Room clerk. Clerk. Oh, yes, well, fancy. Now, hello. Yes, this is Montague Brooks. Have you got my reservation for tonight? You have? Ah, well, cancel it. I don't care how long it'll take you to get another. Just cancel it. Yes, that's all, thank you. Goodbye. Hello, is this the desk downstairs? Yes, I should like the London Times delivered to this apartment every day from now on. Yes. Yes, you may charge it to Mr. Williams.
Miss Margaret, how much longer do we have to put up with Mr. Monty? He moved all the cold beer out of the refrigerator to make room for his kippers. He says cold beer is uncivilized. He did, huh? And another thing, you're going to have to drink your coffee black. He's used up all the cream in his tea.
Again? Help me with this, will you?
Oh, yes, sir.
3 weeks we've had that international moocher on our hands. Just have to drop a few more hints.
So putting lumps in his bed wasn't enough.
No. I guess we'll have to start on his food now. And maybe you could burn his meat a little.
How about that gin and tonic he's always drinking? Mr. Williams got some hair tonic in that bathroom to curl his toes.
Please, I heard that and it was very unkind. You should both be ashamed of yourselves. Monty's a nice guy and the kids are nuts about him. What's the matter with you? I don't get it at all. It's a lonesome man in a strange country.
Strange country. He's been with us long enough to take out his second papers. And now he's ordering everybody around the house, orders kidney pie and Yorkshire pudding for his dinner.
Well, let him have him. Humor the guy.
He's balanced our best china all over the floor.
I know, Louise. He's breaking in a new act. He's got to rehearse someplace.
He's got Rusty drinking tea every afternoon at 4.
Well, don't be childish, huh? Hey, where's the mate to this cufflink?
He was showing the children a trick, and he made it disappear.
He fooled the kids, huh?
He was a little surprised himself. He's still looking for it.
Don't worry, I'll find it.
That does it. I've got it. Louise, how about a little of that hair tonic in his kidney pie? Huh?
Margaret.
Oh. Well, I guess that is going a little too far.
Hey, I had 4 new pair of DVDs. I can't find one.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
You mean he took all 4 pairs?
Let him have them. Humor the guy.
You mean he's been going through these... Oh, no. Oh, he didn't. Oh. Where is it? Where is it? I just got it. My new Sulka tie.
Lend-lease.
Louise. About that kidney pie.
Uncle Monty.
Oh, hello, Terry. And Rusty.
What's that song?
That is an Australian song called Waltzing Matilda.
How does it go?
Waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
Real schmaltzy.
I dare say, Mr. Hammerstein. You know, I knew a little girl once who used to sing that all the time.
Why?
She liked schmaltz.
Play it for us on the piano.
Oh, I don't play the
Oh,
piano
please.
very well. Look here, have you seen my new card trick? Now watch closely. This is something extraordinary. It's called Victoria Falls. Now watch the water spray right over into the little basin. One, 2, 3, here we go. Oh, I say bad luck.
You'd better play the piano, O.C.
Look here. Shouldn't you children be in your room doing your homework? Don't I remember something about a poem to be memorized?
Yes, and I haven't even started it. Would you read it to me?
I should be delighted. You know, I'm a very good reader of poetry. Did you know that? All right, here we go. Listen, my children, and you shall hear. Of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. Paul Revere? That sounds familiar. Wasn't he connected with the rebellion of the colonies?
Our teacher calls it the Revolutionary War.
Well, she's entitled to her opinion, I suppose. He said to his friend, if the British march by land or sea from the town tonight, the British, yes, they were Lord Tarleton's men. Fine chaps, you know. Stuck way up there in that terrible New England climate. Frightful, what?
Beastly.
Come on, children, time to wash up for dinner.
Oh, please, not yet. Uncle Monty's reading us Paul Revere's Bride. It's about the British. Fine chaps, you know.
Yeah. Well, he can read that later. Come on.
Oh, please, pretty please.
Okay, Monty, you're on.
Hang a lantern aloft in the belfry arch of the North Church Tower as a signal light.
One if by land and 2 if by sea.
Daddy, please.
And I on the opposite shore will be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. Aha, so that's what he did.
Yes, our teacher says that he was one of our greatest heroes.
I don't think I quite agree with that.
Why not?
Well, what I'm trying to get at is Paul Revere was, shall we say, a tattletale. He rode around telling everyone in advance that those fine chaps of Lord Tarleton's were coming.
I know, but...
Yeah, but that wasn't quite cricket, was it?
What's cricket?
Cricket is sort of a slow World Series.
Be that as it may, let's face it, Paul Revere was a tattletale.
I hate tattletales.
Rusty, You can't talk like that. What do you want to do, lose your citizenship?
So all those villagers got out their muskets and loaded them and waited in ambush to shoot the British.
I'm beginning to understand their viewpoint.
Burned it, didn't you?
Oh, Louise, how could you?
Yeah, it was an effort. Burned kidney pie. With that smoky old world flavor that I love.
Smoky old fruit flavor too. Can I have some?
Why, certainly, old bee.
How is it?
Beastly.
Maybe we ought to burn his beastly spinach.
And cold tea. And cold Yorkshire pudding. I had it that way once in Quebec. Very exotic.
Can I have some of that?
Terry, sit down. Here, now look, we'll have to take everything off and change the tablecloth.
Uncle Marty can do it. What? It's a trick in his new act. It'll just take a second. Show them, Uncle Monty.
All right. It's very simple, really. If you please. Yes, you see, everything remains still but the clock.
What?
Yes, all right, here we go. Stout heart and a strong wrist. 1, 2, 3, alley. Afraid I haven't got that one quite down yet.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on up, kid.
Daddy,
Yeah.
who's coming up?
It's Jess, honey. There's an opening in Pittsburgh he wants to tell me about.
Oh, well, there's a closing that I'd like to tell you about. Monty is closing here tonight.
Are you kidding? How are you going to get rid of him? Even the landlord thinks it's his apartment now.
He'll have to leave, because after tonight he'll have no place to sleep.
What are you going to do? Give the couch to some needy psychiatrist?
No. Mother's having the decorators up, and she's coming to stay here.
Now, wait a minute, honey. You can't let Mother sleep on the couch.
Well, of course not. That's where you're going to sleep.
Well, at least she won't steal my underwear.
Won't it be wonderful not to have any more broken dishes, or kidney pie, or magic, or poisoning the children's minds about that beastly Paul Revere, don't you know?
Sure, the character. Hi, Jessica.
Hiya, funny man.
Jesse.
Doll face.
Hey, that's not part of the contract, kid.
You didn't read the small print. How are the children?
They're wonderful, honey.
Good.
Hey, what's this about Pittsburgh?
I'll tell you about Pittsburgh in a minute, but first I want to thank you
For what?
for being all-American softies, never turning down a friend, especially Monty Brooks. You know, in all the years I've known him, I've never seen him so relaxed.
Relaxed. He won't even move.
It's a wonderful thing. The guy's actually finding himself again after all these years. And you know something? I bet you leave me back playing the piano again, and it's all due to you.
Are you kidding? You mean Burn Food agrees with him?
He just hasn't had any incentive since the war. I did everything I could to pull him out of it, but it was no use. But since he's been here with you, all of a sudden he's got a new interest in life. Talks about going back to England, got some great ideas for a new orchestra. Even if nothing comes of it, at least he's trying.
That he is.
Yeah, you bet.
Don't you see, you've given him back his family. So thanks again. And now about the Pittsburgh thing.
Wait a minute, Jess. What are you talking
here's
about? What family?
I thought you knew.
Monty has a family?
He never said anything to me about him.
Just goes to show you. That's the English for you, stiff upper lip.
Well, what about his family?
Did you ever hear of a place called Coventry? The whole place was wiped out in the Blitz. Oh, Monty was saved somewhere in the army. Who knows where? But he lost everything, his wife, his kids.
How many children?
2, a boy and a girl. You know, it's a funny thing. They were just about the same age as your Terry and Rusty.
Where does a girl go to get her throat cut?
If you find out, get a rate for 2.
Now, Danny, about the Pittsburgh thing, we're going in for 2 weeks. And I think we're going to have a 2-week holdover if everything...
Let's skip it, huh?
Hey, say something wrong?
No, sweetheart. You didn't say anything wrong. It's just, let's talk about Pittsburgh later.
Yeah, okay. Sure, Dan. I'll tell you what, I'll stop by the club later. And thanks again for what you did for Monty. You know, it's not everybody that's got your talent for helping people.
Yeah. We ought to get a big fat medal.
See you later.
So
Goodbye,
long.
Freddie.
Goodbye, Paul Revere.
Hello? Hotel Astor? This is Mrs. Danny Williams. I'd like to make a reservation, please. For my mother. Yes, that's right, for tonight.
It's pretty good and cold.
Gee, isn't Uncle Monty here yet?
I wouldn't blame him if he never came back.
Oh, he's going to come back. His bag is still here.
Gee, he didn't even come for dinner. And nothing was burned this time.
I bet that's him now. Monty, where have you been? We were worried about you.
I'm terribly sorry I didn't phone, but you know, I had the most frightful time.
Marty?
I went in the subway and...
Marty? Forgive me?
Forgive you for what? I rather enjoyed that. Well, this is quite a welcome.
We got you a new bed. No lumps.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Oh, how shall I ever thank you lovely people for putting up with Monty the Monster for so long. But actually, I'm finally leaving.
Oh, Marty.
Yes, really. I've only got a few minutes, actually.
Well, won't you even stay for dinner?
Yeah, you can pull the tablecloth again if you like.
I'm afraid I've been a pest quite long enough. But I couldn't bring myself to leave before this. Oh, I could have torn myself away from you any time.
Uncle Monty, what's this?
That, my dear, is for you. It's a cricket bat. You know, I searched all over town for it. Oh, I know you won't find any use for it, but I thought it might remind you of Uncle Monty, who was rather useless himself.
Thank you.
And that, my dear, is the music for Waltzing Matilda. I think it'll be all right to play it. I don't believe your mother's really at war with the British Empire.
Thank you.
And now, my dear Margaret, 1,000 apologies for the inconvenience I've caused you, but I enjoyed every uncomfortable minute of it. I'm afraid I must go.
Where are you going?
Home, England. Jess has some crazy idea I can get a band together again.
You can, too. Good luck, Monty. And by the way, you can keep my neckties.
I had no intention of returning them.
Uncle Monty, aren't you even going to play the song for me before you leave?
Yes, Terry, I think I'd like to now. Once a jolly swag man camped by a billabong under the shade of a cooliebar tree, and he sang as he sat and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he sat and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang, and he sat, and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing...
Danny, what's the matter? Did you forget your key?
No, I just wasn't sure I'd be welcome.
What do you mean?
Well, honey, I asked a buddy of mine to come up. I was on a bill with in Toledo, and, well, he couldn't get a room anywhere, and honey, this guy loves kids, and he isn't even an acrobat or anything, and could he spend the night?
Well, of course, darling. Show him in.
Oh, you're sweet. Oh, boy. Come on in, Locke.
do you do, Mrs. Williams?